I just want to share a few thoughts today, as we sit here. Um, you know, I'm talking to you today really in the midst of a pandemic that has struck at the roots of humanity and really exposed the fragility of the human race and its current constructs. The country obviously has not seen a crisis of this proportion and scale since 1947 for sure. We've already lost 406,000, 406,000 lives directly to COVID. And I dread to count the number of lives we will lose to the indirect effects of COVID: hunger, poverty, depression, so many other health issues and livelihood issues. I mean, since independence, we have not faced anything even close to this. Some of the worst disasters that India has had since independence, I mean, the Odisha cyclone, 15,000 lives were lost. Gujarat earthquake, 20,000 lives were lost. The tsunami of 2005, 15,000 people died. COVID is already 4 lakhs. It's just off the charts. And as per a recent report by Azim Premji University, over 210 million people would have slipped into poverty just during this 1 year of COVID. It means 50, 60 years of work that the social sector has done in bringing people out of poverty have been reversed in this 1 year of this pandemic. Um, the second thing that I look back during these COVID times and reflect on, since 1947, before 1947, the country was dominated by the freedom movement. The freedom movement was a civil society movement. Since then, this is probably the first time the country is again realized that it's really the social sector that there is for the most downtrodden sections of society, especially in the times of crisis and even otherwise. In the first wave of the pandemic, when migrant workers we all saw on television walking back to their homes and villages, if there was anyone reaching out to them, their families in the remotest corners of this country, it was the civil society. The government system was collapsing. The private sector had no interest to go there. It was social sector, people who were putting their lives at stake and working. In the second wave, as people were gasping for breath and seeking help for oxygen, medicines, hospital beds, etc., again, the people who were there to respond were members of the civil society. It is the civil society, and in the case of the pandemic, the doctors and nurses who put themselves at great risk and been out there to help people in need. Sadly, of course, several of our friends in this sector have laid down their lives in this process too. Um, that's a sad reality of what's going on. But let it be said loud and clear that the social sector is a critical part of a progressive society. There are things that the state and markets cannot do and will not do, and certainly not alone. You cannot have a progressive society without a vibrant social sector. And let's recognize this and try and get the sector back on the table. The state and markets have become very dominating forces in society today. We need to bring the civil society back. So Samaj, Sarkar, and Bazaar have an important role to play, and we have to figure out how do we get the social sector back. I, of course, like to be very, very optimistic, and I believe that I see a really bright future for this country looking ahead the next few decades. And maybe the COVID has had a role to play in this. I do expect to see the country having years and decades of great progress and shared prosperity in the years ahead. And this is not only about the tectonic shifts in the geopolitics from the West to Asia and China and India being the new superpowers, etc., but also owing to some of the serious resilience and grit this pandemic is going to leave us with. And I seriously hope it does. Nations across the world, and all historians will tell you, have made their biggest progresses after the greatest catastrophes. The classic cases, the European countries, Russia, Japan, after the whole, the two world wars and how they've come out of the ashes and become what they have. I really hope India will not let the huge toll the pandemic has taken on the people of this country to go in vain. I believe that India will rebound and go on to become a vibrant economy, a progressive society, and for all its people, not in an unequal way, which we have seen for the last several 2-3 decades at least. And for the country to realize this balanced growth and progress, the social sector has a major role to play. In the decades ahead, this sector, I believe, will see a lot more philanthropic capital coming in, a lot more ideas for change, and a lot more impact at population scale. And this will require social sector organizations and leaders to step up and seize the moment. I believe young individuals and organizations like Inderpreet and Grey Shades, with audacious ideas and a willingness to adopt new ways of working, will lead the way and play a big role in this emerging new world of social purpose organizations. These are people who I call and Sandeep would have heard me saying this at his inauguration, Insaniyat and Kabiliyat. That's really, you need the humanity and you need excellence in what you do in social purpose organization. And for this to happen, there are some things to remember for leaders, people like Inderpreet and others. First, let's not allow the feeling of helplessness to creep into us. COVID has made a lot of people in the sector begin to feel helpless. I don't think we should ever allow that. It's very common these days to hear people talk about collective fatigue, compassion fatigue, emotionally drained. Let's please not allow this to happen to us. We in the civil society do not have this option, and certainly not now when the world needs us. To be a development sector professional, besides, and in ISDM we call them authentic development professionals or ADPs, beside the passion for a better world, one has to believe in the possibility of the better world and retain that grit and perseverance till you hit that. You're in that direction. You'll never hit that goal because that goal will always get more aspirational as we go along. And in many ways, the best way to handle this helpless feeling is to focus on work and keep moving on from one small win to another and so on. And each life and each person and each wrinkled face that you make a difference to matters. It is these many, many small victories that will add on to make huge differences to society. The second point I want to make is let's reinvent ourselves and create new futures for social purpose organizations and in turn the society and planet. We must ask ourselves, what are we going to learn from this disaster of the millennium? What are we going to do differently after this pandemic has gone? Are we finding new ways of working and addressing social challenges? In the last 2 decades, by the way, the world has moved to unbelievable possibilities with artificial intelligence, robotics, machine learning, big data, supercomputing, vagara, vagara, vagara. How are we going to leverage this for these inventions for humankind, for the most downtrodden, for the planet, for the future generations? We must understand these and we must be willing to learn and engage with these sort of areas and make them work for the sector rather than make them work for the capitalistic society and for profiteering and whatever else. Let's change the perspectives and tools we work with. Let's build on the deep groundedness without a doubt and connection with communities. And based on that, how do we build? We should never lose that. We need to adopt these new ideas and tools. The third is really let's stand together. Sadly, in the midst of pandemic, we're beginning to blame each other and divide ourselves. And the world has, as all of us know, become very divisive in the last couple of decades. This is the time to keep our differences away and focus on the common enemy. The common enemy is the social evils and damage to environment and future life on the planet. That's the enemy. That's the war we're fighting, and we need to focus on that. And let's make this disaster count and drive a whole new future. We must not continue as if the world hasn't changed and get back to our normal ways of working post-COVID. We must learn, change, and become far more effective and relevant to the society and planet. Never before, before COVID, has this critical need to be able to do things at scale been made more obvious. We need to find solutions and reach millions of people. When I talk to Inder, I'm always asking him, how do we get to millions of old people and how do we make a difference to them? If not, the problems will continue to grow faster than the solutions. Today, there are more people in poverty than the entire population of India at independence. So the percentages have come down, but the numbers are going up. And if you take the COVID analogy, if you say that the COVID virus is the social evil and the vaccine is the social work trying to prevent this evil, the vaccination has to spread and cover a majority of the population before the virus mutates and creates itself into new problems. And that's the mindset with which we need. We need to work solutions which work at speed, at scale, so that the problems are eliminated. Otherwise, you're constantly leaking, and that's never going to help. We have to ensure that our interventions and approaches for addressing social evils have to move far faster than the rate at which the social evils are spreading. Sadly, and people may get upset with me for saying this, as a person who's part of the sector, I would like to say that we are failing on this count. We are doing great work in the remotest corners of this country, but we are still leaving hundreds of millions of people in poverty, abuse, and on the margins. How can we, as authentic development professionals, go to sleep peacefully at night when this is happening? We have to stay awake and find solutions for this. And I do believe youngsters like Inder and young organizations like Grey Shield will empower and make a difference to the lives of millions of older people, of people in the margins, people who need to be empowered, and we'll have a far better society. So really, my congratulations to Inder, the team, and Grey Shades. Amazing work you guys do. Please have audacious ambitions. Please think scale, make a difference to millions of people. Inder, you can do it.